What's up, guys? We are doing a just kind of ask me anything sort of thing where you got members here in the Discord, some people in our lobby, and we're just doing our Shinobi Masters training, but this one's going to be a little different. We're just doing like a, again, ask me anything, where we're talking about just anything Fortnite. Go ahead and ask away. You just die. But in all honesty, the best move generally is hopefully you have some forward momentum, but if they hit you and if you get stuck against a wall, right, go ahead and throw it on me. Right now I'm just I'm just done. But you got to look at where they're on. So if you're on that side, I'm getting out on driver's side. But if you're on the other side, go ahead to my other side. You want to swap to the passenger and then get out, and then you give yourself at least a little hope, and then instantly crouch, and then you have a little bit of hope for shockwaving out or nitro fisting out. But in all honesty, if someone gets you with 2 EMPs, you're usually going to die unless they've got bad aim or they're just not ready for it, right? So here, we'll try it one more time. I'm driving this. The best thing is when you have some forward momentum, so you have a little bit of space. If you've got no space, right? So if I got some forward momentum, you hit me, nice. I've got some space. I'm going to get to my other passenger seat. Actually, now I'm going to get out on my driver's side. No, I'm not. So now I'm like looking at you. And a lot of times you can kind of trap people. It's like, okay, what is he going to do? If he's going to push me again, if he's already hit me and ripped off all my shields already, then it's kind of like a matter of like, you know, if I have plenty of space, I should have already left. But right now I can play against this and keep getting out on opposite sides like this, seat swap, and play the cover against you, basically. Because a lot of times they'll get overconfident about what's happening. And sometimes the best move is just keep seat swapping to the other side of the car, taking a jump shot, getting back in. Yeah, just don't get near people in cars. Use them for rotation, use them for like cover and stuff, but as soon as you're within this range, you should consider yourself pretty much dead. Because you should assume that everybody has nitro. I mean, not nitro, EMPs. Or just stay away from people, like a good, like, you know, 50 meters minimum when you're driving around people, so that they can't land a shot. And even then, some people are just cracked with EMPs and just like read it perfectly, throw nice perfect shots on you. That just disappeared. But yeah, EMPs are kind of hard to hit from that far, from like 30 meters out, 40 meters out. And then try to stay moving too, and don't be driving at like rocks or trees or anything. If you're gonna drive past somebody, make sure you've got some forward momentum ahead of you, so if you get shut down, you don't get stuck against something. So I think a lot of the car thing with surviving EMPs is about like just assuming that they have them to begin with, and then like either take the risk of pushing them, and if you're gonna do it, make sure you're driving in such a way that you're not gonna get stuck on something if they EMP you, because distance is your friend, right? So if I'm coming up here, I want to keep driving like past in a way that I'm not gonna hit something, right? I want to be turned like this. If you hit me, I'm gonna keep going forward. If my car were to shut down like it is right now, it keeps going forward, and I get distance, I get out, I shock out, and heal. Yeah, let me find some Nitro Fist. Have you watched my Nitro Fist video?
I haven't, actually.
Oh, well, there's your answer.
I've not seen it.
That's your answer. But like, basically, the main thing with fists is if you see somebody pull those things out, you need to immediately start moving, because they're going to go for the slam on you pretty much every time. And if they land that slam, they're going to land probably 2 hits, maybe more on you. And by then you've already lost like 130 damage, maybe 120 now at this point. But like, so if I'm going for Neutrino, right? And he sees me go in the air and he's got nitro on, he just sprint jumps out, sprint jump out. Sprint jump out. So that's like, I don't know if maybe your nitro's not working. But like, so like, here's some fists, somebody try to smash me. So if I get nitro on me, nitro is a great counter to fist because you can sprint jump away. So they can't slam you if you do that. Go ahead, try again. For some reason, I've heard, well actually I know, that if you kill somebody that has fists, I guess it probably doesn't work here, but if you kill someone and they drop fists out of their inventory, you can drop yours out of your inventory, then pick them up, and you're full again. So you actually have to pull them out of your inventory, then pick theirs up. You can't swap them. If you swap them, it's the same, but you have to pull them out of yours first, and then it treats it like, you know. Okay, so if I go like this, right, and I slam surf, then I follow up with an uppercut, it's really hard to do anything about that with a shotgun, right? You'll land one good shot maybe, but then you just get like thrown in a corner and you're all discombobulated. So the best thing you can do is go ahead and do it to me, sir. Best thing you can do is you hit that nitro beforehand. You kind of know, I mean, try to have nitro on you or mobility of some sort. If you have gloves yourself, then you just glove out, right? So I see Surf go up. There we go. He goes up and I just jump out, right? Then I look for the shot. Okay, even then I got to jump out again. And then we're looking for a shot. But honestly, the gloves are such a dangerous thing that you just need to get out as soon as they go into the air. Use your own gloves, use your own mobility, use splashes, nitro splashes, gloves, shockwaves, whatever mobility you can use to get away from them is best. Because 99% of players are just going to try to, you know, spam fists on you, and a lot of times they'll get away with it. They're just so broken because they can hit from 8 meters away, and if they lock on with that first 8-meter shot, the next shot's guaranteed. Even if they're 30 meters away, 20 meters away, it's a bug where they'll continue to hit you, even if you've knocked them far away, or if they've knocked you far away, they'll continue to hit you. Yeah, so if you stay calm, right, and you can hit your shots, that's great. But I would say try to get some distance first to avoid that initial slam, because once they get you in that animation, start tossing you around, it can be hard to hit your shots. Like breaks your camera and like stutters and does all kinds of weird things. How much movement should you incorporate into a close range fight? It really depends on the situation. Movement is super important, but movement is second priority to positioning and cover. So if you've got good positioning and cover, then you don't need to do all that much movement, right? Then it's more about like doing limited movement that's going to give you nice little advantages, something like a jump shot. Like, so go down there on the ground right there. Yeah, somebody's down there, right? Like movement in this case would be pretty limited. We're just going like something like this until we get enough damage, and then we move in, right? And then we start hitting them with the actual movement of sliding and jumping around. Now, if you're out in the open like this, right, out here, it depends on the weapon that you have as well, how much movement you want to put on. If you have something like a burst, thunderburst, movement is going to be really, really important, because the advantage of this weapon is the range on it and the accuracy. So if you've got good movement and good aim, you can use the thunderburst to stay really mobile and hit your shots like this while you move around and make it hard for them to land shotgun shots. I see a lot of people, even content creators, that talk about like, you know, doing just crazy movement all the time like this. And what they don't realize is when they're doing this sprint, every time they sprint, they are not shooting their gun. Every time they start to move all fast, they're not firing their weapon. And that means that your enemy is, right? The entire time that you're sprinting around trying to be all fancy with it and jumping and all that, you're not shooting your weapon. So it's really, really important to keep damage uptime while you're moving. You have to be really smart about your movements. You can't just be doing this where you're like jumping over someone's head over and over again, firing a shot, jumping over someone's head, unless you got like a pump shotgun that's going to be hitting really hard, or a gatekeeper. But even a gatekeeper, if you're within close range, it's better to just try to hit your shots, right? If you've got that shotgun right now, right, go ahead and just try to hit your shots on me. Here we go. If I'm jumping around doing this, like, it's just not worth it for me to do that, because you've got a gatekeeper. You can just fire that thing super fast, does crazy damage at close range. So there's no point in me trying to outmaneuver you at close range. You're talking about stamina as your problem. What I would focus on with stamina in fights, a lot of people run out of stamina is because they're not sliding, they're not sprint sliding. Look how much stamina I'm saving in a fight like this. If I'm moving around a building, you'll watch like really good players, and it's like, dude, how do they always have stamina? Like, I always run out of stamina. It's, well, watch what they're doing. The entire time they're moving around, they're taking corners, sliding like this, and they're conserving their entire stamina. So in a bunker fight, your enemy is going to run out of stamina twice as fast if they're just running around like this. Look how fast my stamina just ran out. But if I'm sprint sliding around the entire bunker and cutting all those corners while sliding, it's like, it just lasts forever, right? I could slide throughout an entire fight like this and just stay mobile, hard to hit the entire time, while my enemy's like, I'm out of sprint, you know? So if you're chasing someone around a bunker, try not to get too like crazy about chasing them, and because they're just gonna outrun you anyways. You can just stay sprint sliding and still kind of keep up with them, and then by the time that they actually land, they're out of stamina and you still got a lot in the tank. Yeah, sprint jumping is the absolute worst thing you could do. Great point. Like this, see how much that takes? A quarter of your stamina bar, maybe a third every time you sprint jump. Now you're out. So if you're going to sprint jump, the one thing you got to do is you start the sprint, you land, and then you just stay into slides. You use the momentum from the sprint jump to keep going, but don't sprint jump again after that, unless you absolutely have to get more momentum to take this fight, right? But use that momentum from your first sprint slide, and then that's it. And if you're just moving around through the map, don't sprint jump. It doesn't make any difference. You know, you might as well just stay sprint sliding like this. You get a lot more fuel that way. Just treat the whole map as like a little skate park. Even when you're like looting through buildings, the best way to learn how to do good movement is to practice sprint sliding and moving cleanly through buildings. So just make it like a little mini game for yourself, right? When you go through like any sort of building, try not to get caught up on walls like that, and try to move through the building as quickly as you can. Like say for classy courts, you know, something that I do when there's nobody there. It's like, okay, try to move through this building as quickly as possible while not touching any walls, while looting as quickly as possible. You know, try not to hit anything as we're going through it, and just get nice clean lines, move really fast, stay sprint sliding the whole time, and your movement will just like exponentially improve just because you've gotten really good at moving through small little gaps and areas while sprint sliding. I mean, I kind of view both shotguns as equally good. Now, the Gatekeeper is going to win fights at close range like this. If you hit your shots, like it's just destroys people, right? With the combat, you got to play further ranges for it to be effective. It's all about spacing. If you're going to use a combat, you can't let people get close to you, because that's how you get advantage with the combat, is you stay at that range right there. Because if I hit you with my Gatekeeper right now, right, 49 is the best I can do, you're probably doing about 50 also the entire time, and you shoot twice as fast. So like I can shoot Surf this fast, right? And I'm hitting for about 50 apiece, where I probably have about 50 apiece with the Gatekeeper, 40 at this range, and I only have 3 shots, or maybe 5 if I get an extended mag, and it shoots slower. I guess it shoots about the same fire rate, to be honest. And the big thing about the combat is people are running away from you. You still land damage at, like, you know, I'm hitting him from 40 meters out and doing 17, which is pretty great, considering the fact that, like, with a Gatekeeper, if they start shocking out and they get that far, you're not going to do any damage to them. So you have to be, I think Gatekeeper is like 25 meters or something, max range. So you can't kill people shocking out or running away with the Gatekeeper. You gotta switch to a different weapon. Yeah, no, I mean, the Gatekeeper's damage within range is pretty darn good. Even like here, you know, I'll probably hit 40 at like 15 meters out, which is pretty solid when you consider it, like, because of how fast it shoots. Yeah. So overall, I would say the combat and the Gatekeeper are both excellent shotguns. You just need to know how to use them. And the combat shotgun's more of a movement shotgun. If you really like movement, pick it up and just like keep range, keep distance, and stay moving, because you want to be really hard to hit. And the advantage is that you have more shots in your magazine, and you get basically to just get more chances to take shots and stay hard to hit at medium range, because they're gonna have to use a different weapon to fight you other than a Gatekeeper to finish you off, where you can just keep the shotgun out the entire time at this range, the combat. And it reloads super fast, 2 shots per reload, which is insane. So Gatekeeper is ultimately a high risk, high reward. Like, it's really good in like FFA scenarios. If you're just trying to kill people as quick as possible, Gatekeeper is just going to be better, because, you know, you can 3-tap people. Whereas if you try to do that with a combat, you're going to have to be really hitting your shots at close range. And it's going to take at least 4 to 5 shots in most cases, whereas Gatekeeper is just going to delete you. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for me. Thanks for the Q&A, guys. Hope it was helpful. Catch you guys later.